Hello and welcome to another episode of 207 Aikido. From the beginning, this was supposed to be a blog about experimentation, about unfinished ideas that we're still working on, and that's definitely going to be the case tonight. I want to talk about falling, and we've been doing some work recently with someone for whom falling doesn't really come very naturally, and I had also been working on rolling on harder surfaces myself, and those two things have been coming together, and I've got some unfinished ideas that I just want to throw out to the interwebs, and if you have any thoughts or comments on them, I'd love to hear them, maybe help crystallize a few things. So a few months ago now, maybe longer, Shane finally got me watching Ellis Amder's video, Ukemi from the Ground Up. And one of the things that really stuck with me was this image of him going to the Ueno Zoo and watching this deranged chimpanzee that had probably been cooped up in a small cage for far too long, that just rolled and rolled and rolled around on the concrete all day. And I've been playing with some of that stuff myself. For a really long time, I had wanted to be able to do a roll on pavement, on concrete, like I saw all of the traceurs, the parkour guys doing. And I'd always hit my shoulder and I'd hit my hip. And finally, I just decided, inspired by Ellis Amder, I decided I'm just going to start from the ground on a hard surface. So I just started doing the rolls around like this, really easy. Before, when I had tried to roll, I would start, I felt like I know how to roll, so I'm going to start by doing, our regular ukemi and just soften it up a bit. And this time I just started from zero. I'm just going to roll around, and as soon as you feel something bumping, you know that you have to fix it. And I wouldn't progress until to the next stage until I felt comfortable on that hard surface. So I'll take you through the progression that I've been going through, and I don't feel like I'm at the end of that yet, but the progression that I've been very slowly working myself through. But then we were working on falling with this student recently, and it doesn't come easily for her, and so I sort of started taking her through this progression as well, and I felt like we worked, just from here, and then we got up to here, and then we were doing standing. I think maybe we might have gotten that far. And then we started getting towards rolls. And I thought, like, oh man, we're making slow but steady progress. I felt good about it. But then, we started doing some techniques, and she took a fall, and she put her hand back. Because I had not been teaching slaps. Amder talks about that if he was to learn it over again, he didn't know that he would add in slaps. Like if you wouldn't do it on concrete, why are you doing it? Do you really need it? And I felt like, no, you don't. I don't need to slap to fall all right. But the problem is, I think the slap, this is our instinct, is to put our hand back and catch ourselves. And the real purpose the slap serves is to keep ourselves, to break that instinct. So rather than reaching back, you're putting your hand up. You don't need to slap hard. And this is, I just want to make it clear, we're rolling right now on a pretty hard surface. You don't need to make that slap to be safe. But you need to have learned. I've spent a lot of time. I've more or less broken that habit. How do you take a beginner through that? And so I'm trying to figure out. So in my mind, there is a spectrum. And I think the very best point for the roll is just past the point where I can take weight and have that go up through my structure. Just past the point where if I take force, it's just going to send me back. That's the safest place. It's not up here and then slapping down on something hard. It's just past that point. But how do you ingrain that in a beginner? And I don't really have the answer. So if you have any comments or ideas, I'd love to hear them. And now I'll just take you quickly through the progression that I've been doing on a real hard surface to try to get to the point. I want to get to the point where I can do something that looks like the normal ukemi that we do, but on concrete or on pavement. So I've started rolling like this, and then I took, this was from the Yoshi's seminar. We did this sort of sistema roll, so I'll put the arm down, and then you reach with this hand. And then it's just like rolling around. And I think basically, this just puts the shoulder as low to the ground as I can. Tuck the head, reach with the hand, and then it's the same. And then the one next step that I've been doing, I guess there's two more, was reaching with this hand. I've been using, with our student, I've been using the idea of those wingsuits that the crazy people jump off cliffs with, and picturing like a webbing in between your side and your hand that doesn't let you go any further than this, and putting the webbing on the ground. So now with my roll, I'm picturing that wingsuit here. Like Tanaka Sensei says, I'll put myself really far in kote hineri. I'm putting my other hand down so that I can slow this down. I want to do this so that I can move as slowly as possible. And now I'm going to try to stretch this leg over. Top left. Top right. So I'm here. This hand is just holding just a little bit of weight. I'm trying to put the wingsuit down. And I'm going to try to turn my arm as I go and reach my foot over. And then the one last step I've been doing is a similar thing, going down as if I'm jumping down from something high, coming to here, and then it's pretty much the same. And that's about where I am. I feel like there's a ways to go. I did just catch my shoulder a little bit, so I want to be down here. So there's more to work on. There's where I am. I'd love to hear your ideas, your comments, your feedback. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time. My God, I talked forever.